Hello YouTube and welcome to the channel. Now then, today's video we're going to be looking at this baby. It's the Xinlehong Q902. It's a brushless 1/16 scale rock bouncer basher, if you like. It's probably equivalent to the FTX 16889 brushless or pro version. It's sort of Xinlehong's trick version of their 9000 series little 1/16 scale bashers and buggies. And we've done we've looked at a fly hull, which is basically this. All the underpinnings are the same as this. Now there are two main reasons I wanted to show you this buggy today. The first of which is to highlight the differences between the Q version, the Q brushless version, and the ordinary brushed version, if you like. The second of which is to highlight an unusual situation. Well, it's not really an unusual situation, but it's a situation where if you're prepared to have the least popular body style, you can save yourself a fortune, because these basically, if you didn't already know, these basically come in three versions: a Q901, 902 and 903. This is the 902, which basically looks like a sort of GP rock basher thing really, and the 901 and the 903 are like a buggy and a truggy. Now this is the most, or the least popular option, so by choosing this you can actually get it cheaper, even though you're actually buying exactly the same RC. Now before we open the box, I'll give you an example. This cost me 56 quid on Banggood. I'll leave some affiliate links in the description below. The ordinary brushed version of this, for some strange reason, is £57. I'll convert it to dollars and put it at the bottom of the screen for you. If you buy the Q901, that's 72, if I remember rightly, pounds. And if you buy the Q903, it's 86 quid. So, I mean, they're all basically the same. It's only the body that varies. So by buying the sort of Jeep looking version, the Q902, you're actually saving 25% on the purchase price. And you're actually getting, don't forget, you're actually getting an identical product. There's no difference apart from the bodies. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to highlight to you. Now, let's crack the box open and have a look what's inside. As ever on the channel, it's still sealed, so whatever nasties or horrors that reveal themselves to me, we'll be the first to know about it. Okay, in the box we get instructions and parts manual. We get a battery charger, a little metal wheel wrench stroke spanner, and some spare R-clips for the body. We get our transmitter. Now this transmitter has a cool function. When it binds to the receiver, all these bits here glow blue. We've got steering trim. We've also got steering dual rate on it as well. We've also got a high and low speed mode, which is useful if you've perhaps got a novice or a child pilot in it. And we can also reverse the steering as well on that switch there. It does also take 3 AA batteries, which you have to supply. Now then, the buggy itself, or the truck itself, I don't know why this is so unpopular, you know, because I quite like this body shape. Obviously, it's the brushless version, so we've got a wheelie bar at the back, and I can imagine you'd actually need that because of the size of the brushless motor you get, but we'll get into that in a minute. But first impressions are, I think it's a good looking truck, I do. Suspension is very, very soft on these. Unfortunately, you don't get oil shocks like you do on the Pro version on the HBX. But you can, I'm sure you can buy these as a hop-up part for them, so you can actually buy oil shocks for them, so that isn't too much of a problem. Anyway, let's get its clothes off and have a look at what we get inside. Now there also should be a Lipo battery in here of 1000 milliamp hours. Now with the ordinary brushed version, apart from if you buy the fly hull version, you get one 500 milliamp lithium ion. Now there's two cool features on the 902 version, and that's one, we get a set of little roof lights here, and the second of which is the body hinges up at the back like that, so you only have to undo 2 clips at the back and you can get to all the gubbins inside. Right, now the lid's off and we've got all 4 wheels and tyres off. We can have a look at the first major difference between the Q version and the ordinary brushed version, and that is the fact that the wheels are held on by proper wheel nuts instead of the screws. This is because we've got metal drive cups on each corner, and not only have we got metal drive cups, we've also got metal drive shafts as well. Now all these bits and pieces on the ordinary brushed version I think are plastic, if I remember rightly, so immediately we've got some trick metal parts on this thing. Now, as I mentioned to you before, we've also got a wheelie bar on this version, and I believe under this little clip here, that's a cool feature as well, just unclip it. We should have a 1000 milliamp Lipo battery, so a little bit of a squeeze getting it out. Come on, you know you want to. There you go. So we've got a little Lipo battery, 1000 milliamp, as opposed to a 500 milliamp lithium ion. So what I'll do now, and you can see that motor there, that motor is huge compared to, I'll try and dig out a 16889 motor for you to have a look at, HBX, but that motor for the size of this buggy is huge. We've got a 35 amp ESC stroke receiver as well, but we'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to strip some of this down and see what else is metal underneath. Okay, that's all the suspension componentry removed. We've got our dampers, of course, as mentioned before, just like friction dampers really. They don't do much, but you can get replacements, so it's not much of an issue. It might be nice at some point, possibly, if Xinlehong to do a Pro Q version, put some more oil dampers on, like on the HBX. Like I said to you before, all the drive shafts and wheel cups are metal on this version, and on the brushed version they're just ordinary plastic ones. I must admit, the plastic ones on the brushed version aren't brilliant, because those daft screws that they have that hold the wheels on, they can snap off inside, and then well, you got no option then but to replace them. But this comes with all the trick metal transmission parts on it, this does. All the wishbones, etc., are the same as the brushed, which is no bad thing, because this rubbery type nylon plastic is tough as old boots. It takes some breaking, one of these would, I tell you. Okay, then let's have a butcher's at the central drive shaft portion of the RC. So I'll just lift these two covers up here, this cover up here, and as you can see, we have got all metal in the transmission. Reduction gear is metal, the two little bevel end gears on that shaft are metal. They're carried on ball races, so it's ball raced all round, same on the diffs. Now, I'm not going to open one of these diffs up, but I can assure you that all the little diff gears inside are metal. So we've got one at the front and one at the back, so the entire transmission is metal. And the good news is, obviously, all these components are interchangeable with the brushed version, and also all these components here are interchangeable with RCs like the UJ99, etc. So if you've got a UJ99, you want to upgrade some of the parts to metal, they're all interchangeable. Right, then all we've got left to look at now is the electrics. So let's start with the business end, this huge 2845 motor. And I say huge, I mean it's all relative. I think I might be mistaken, someone might correct me on this, but this motor is the same size as the one that they use in the new brushless WL Toys buggies. So if I know they've had cogging issues, but if they can power those things around at speed, God only knows what it must be like in something like this. Just to give you an idea of how large this motor is for this size of RC, this is the motor. Not very clear, sorry. This is the motor out of the HBX 16889. Not the Pro version, but the ordinary brushless version, I should say. But you can see the size comparison between the two. This Xinlehong motor is huge. Now this motor has its power supplied to it by the 35 amp ESC stroke receiver. Let's take it out for me as well. It's literally a circuit board. Now, as you can see there, it's actually waterproofed. So I think it's to is it IPX4 or something? But this thing is waterproof to IPX4, and I can actually confirm the waterproofness of these Xinlehong boards because I've got the 9125 and I soak that on a regular basis, and nothing, it never seems to go wrong. So I think these are properly waterproof. Now then, this is the same amp rating as the HBX, so can you imagine what this thing would do if it had like a 60 amp ESC stuck in it with this motor? it would absolutely, it would just destroy everything else in this class, I'm sure it would. And the only thing left is the 3-wire micro steering servo, which has got a little servo saver on it. And that concludes the electronics. Okay, that's pretty much the thing in bits. Would I recommend the Q version of the Xinlehong series of 1/16 scale buggies and bashers? And the answer is absolutely yes, especially if you can get hold of the Q902 version on Banggood. Like I say, for some strange, weird reason, it's actually £1 cheaper than the brushed version at the moment. If you're prepared to, I mean, I don't think that body's that bad really, to be fair. But for some reason, like I say, it's cheaper, it's about 25% cheaper. If you can put up with that body shape, which isn't really much of a stretch to the imagination, you can save yourself about 25% on the price of the other two, because it's identical. In with the Q version, you get the brushless motor, you get metal diffs, you get metal drive shafts, you get a little Lipo battery, and like I say, the thing's £1 cheaper than the brushed version, which you just don't get at all. So I would wholeheartedly recommend you taking the extra time to go and search out this type of body shell. Save yourself a fortune over the other two. I will of course leave some affiliate links in the description below to the Q902. Hopefully they haven't all gone by the time I make this video. As ever, if you found the video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button for more similar future content. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and catch you again soon. Thank you.